All right, and welcome back to the 1216 podcast. We're joined today again by lovely host 12. You know what's going on. You know how we come in. This is the manga section, viewing chapter 1093, Luffy versus Kizaru. Ooh, there was hinted at some stuff inside this chapter. As you all know, of our cover art. Cover art, we get to see how Nepo and Kobe sitting around trying to get their glasses back from a pair of not raccoon, but tasers, or what's it called? For a pair of tossers, the Tosser brothers. So they pretty much stole their stuff, got out of there, and got their glasses on. And it's a pretty cool setting, the colorway for it as well. But we kick it off just how we left it off with Kizaru in the hands of Luffy. Luffy has a tight grip on him, and everybody's looking at it like, Luffy, is that really you? Like, wow, like this is technically their first time with Nami and Brook and Vegapunk and Usopp really seeing Luffy like this. So of course they're in shock. Like, Luffy, is that really you? And he's just laughing away. She. You know, once he's in Gear 5, it's a whole different ball game. Luffy is in full control now. And then he starts spinning around and ends up tossing Kizaru far, far away. Um, Kizaru's going to land inside the ocean most likely, but he slings him with all his might and he just gets sent flying. Once Kizaru is sent flying away, Luffy starts laughing like, he went flying and is just having a time of his life. We all know once Luffy's in Gear 5, it is one of those, and you gotta just, you can't do anything but have a good time behind it. So Luffy is having a time of his life behind his as he's in Gear 5, floating inside the air. And then we see that Atlas puts on a jetpack. Atlas puts on a jetpack, and Chopper asks, "Where are you going?" But Atlas, we all know what Atlas wants to do. Atlas wants to go turn Pacifista back to their side. That way they can have a chance, a fighting chance, of course, at getting away. Because whoever controls the Pacifistas basically controls the rest of the match and controls how people escape and who escape. So Vegapunk goes, Atlas, I'm coming with you. So now we see that Vegapunk wants to risk his life for the biscuit. Vegapunk is sitting there and calls in to Frankie and just asks Frankie what's going on, what's the sit rep basically, can he do anything? And then he looks over and says, it seems like Bonnie has been knocked down to the lower level. So of course, Vegapunk is upset and he tells Frankie, like, how could you let this happen? Frankie, of course, being the manly man Frankie is, he goes to his super mode and says, you know what? My bad. I'll go help her right away to try to go ahead and go after Bonnie now. Now, they're all on a transponder still. And we know that Frankie was with Luffy's group. So it was Frankie, Lilith, the giant robot, of course, that they have. But the giant robot got dismantled. So now Frankie is on this new mission that he has to go after and save Bonnie. And of course, when it comes to saving women, you can't forget about Sanji. Sanji overhears it and says he wants to end up on a rescue mission. Sanji and Jinbei have everything that was required and asked for by Dr. Vegapunk. So now all they have to do is just take it back and board board the ship. So of course Sanji is going to be up for that, while Jinbei is going to do the return mission. Then they're going to all rendezvous back at the ship later on once the ship is safe, because the Vega Force dropped it when Kizaru kicked Luffy through it and blew the Vega Force up. So we have to get, of course, the Thousand Sunny off its ground and protect it, of course, so it's not damaged all the way, and take it to the back half of the lava sphere still. As we're doing this, though, and we're looking for Bonnie still, the Marines are everywhere. Marines are everywhere, and we see nothing but old Marines and baby Marines, which means one thing: Bonnie has let loose her devil fruit ability. She's been trying to stay alive for the longest, so she's been going around turning people into kids, very small kids that can't do anything really, or really old ones, old adults. And as Bonnie's hiding off, she's hiding away just to make sure that she doesn't get caught. while she's waiting to get rescued for the most part. But she looks over, she sees that Sentomaru has been burned. And she sees Sentomaru, and we see the connection, you know, the sense of worry that's on Bonnie's face. Bonnie is worried about what's happened to Sentomaru. And as Bonnie is thinking to herself, of course, the Marines start to see it, out to get her. You hear a big kaboom happen, and Bonnie's body starts falling from the sky. And as Bonnie's body is falling to the sky, it gets caught by a mysterious person who was thought to be burnt to a crisp, and that person is Sentomaru. Sentomaru goes, Bonnie, get out of here right now. Marines are coming. I got you. I'll hold them off. And we see again the connection that Sentomaru has with Bonnie. You know, their backstories all line up together with Vegapunk, Bonnie, I believe Kizaru, um, Kuma, and all of the backstories add up together. All five of them were in together on a lot of different experiments growing up, because we got the pacifistas, because we got the ultimate body for Kuma, and we got the ability to use the light beam from the glint glint fruit, basically from Kizaru, to make that. So Kizaru comes with Sentomaru, Bonnie, and of course Kuma come together as a package, and they both come together with Vegapunk. So of course Bonnie's gonna be worried about her longtime friend. And as we still look on and stuff like that, we see that Luffy is still in the air laughing. Bonnie is safe and gets tossed away to make sure that Bonnie is still hiding, of course. Sentomaru protected Bonnie as long as Bonnie could. Sentomaru protected Bonnie as long as Sentomaru could, and that's the reason why Bonnie is able to hide safely away from Marines right now. We go up right now, and we see Luffy in the air, and Luffy's looking over and is like, "Oh, Zoro, so you guys are down there." And it's a collision going back and forth. You see the swords going at it. You see the swings going at it, and you look over, and of course, Lucci versus Zoro. And Zoro just says, "You focus on Kizaru. I got Lucci." And of course, Zoro, being a second in command as he is, he says, "You know what? It shouldn't fall on a captain's hand to handle the situation with you, because you're not that good." And Lucci looks at Zoro and is like, "Well, then I suppose the head of the Emperor's number two is still a decent consolation prize." So, of course, we all know that Kaku was not enough to handle Zoro. That's why Kaku was out of the picture. But Lucci is supposedly on par right now with Zoro. I still have Zoro above him. I know plenty of you have Zoro above him still, because if Luffy is on that Emperor level, Zoro has to be on the Admiral level now. So with Zoro on the Admiral level, we know that Lucci doesn't hold a candle to him. So Zoro's going to go not all out, but he's going to fight still a good fight and go from there. Then we look over and we still see Kizaru flying through the sky. He's about to hit the ocean right now. And Kizaru goes, "Well, I almost took a dip in the ocean. Let me get out of this." He uses glint glint fruit powers to shoot his little beams up inside the air. You know what he normally does, in order to send out clones of himself and shoot himself up, of course, through the sky to travel through the light beams to go back towards Luffy. As he gets towards Luffy, it's about 10 different clones that's all coming after him, and Luffy's eyes pop out of his head because he's like, "Wow, what's going on here?" And he kicks one of them, it disappears. So obviously it works like the Shadow Clone Jutsu. You get one get hit up on it, it disappears. Kizaru's inside there with his light sword, but it's not really him. It's all of the different Kizaru clones around, and they're just trying their best to distract Luffy for the most part. And Luffy brings out the Booming Dawn Whip. The Booming Dawn Whip is screaming through the sky, just kicking everybody through. And of course, you have to have Dawn inside of it because you're Gear 5. So, of course, you need to have the new Dawn. So, Luffy figures out, all right, cool. It's a bunch of hollow ghosts. In Luffy's mind, Luffy's going to connect things to other people. Of course, we all know that the last time that Luffy couldn't kick through something, it was with the ghost. So, Corona, Ghost, Hollow, He thinks that's that. But they're all chasing Luffy down. He goes, got you. Similar to what he did with Alvida when he was running away and held on to the back and hit all of them with a gum gum rocket. He ran away and came back with a Boomy Don stamp. We all know that the stamp is coated inside of his hockey, so it's going through all of the clones and just knocking them all out the line as he's looking for the real one. But the real Kizaru is not in the clone section. The real Kizaru, of course, is down below holding Usopp by his neck. And he said, I got you, and it's damn near over for you. Now, what is Luffy going to do? He has to figure it out. He has to stop them really soon. We see Nami and Brook with the weapons drawn towards Kizaru. Brook, of course, has his Soul King ability, and Nami has the Tempest, of course, with Zeus now. And we don't see Zeus come out. I don't. But we do see Nami with her lightning bolts ready to attack. But you have lightning about to attack light itself. I don't think it's gonna work. It should be interesting to see what ends up happening because unless we get, I don't know, unless Brook knows how to use armament hockey now, his sword's not gonna do a damn thing. And then we're gonna need, of course, armament hockey to be used from Zeus and Nami in order to take on Kizaru, or at least to distract them, get him away from Usopp while Luffy finishes them off. But we're still looking, and then we go back over. We see Atlas and Vegapunk still driving down because they're going to go rescue Bonnie really fast. They're in the Vega Tank 8. Oh, man, this is a nice vehicle. The vehicle was beautifully drawn. It has some huge wheels, some spokes up on it, and a sphere is what they're sitting inside of as everything moves around. As it comes through and comes by, Sanji hops right on and says, gotcha. He gets on and gets a part of it. And as they're driving away, Kizaru tosses Usopp and looks down and says, so that's where you're going. Because we all know that Vegapunk is trying to go save Bonnie. Kizaru looks over, charged up his light beam, and is about to attack Apple Gramps. And Luffy looks on and says, Apple Gramps, don't do it. And as soon as it comes off and is about to go flying down, Luffy jumps in front of the way of the beams and gets it put right inside of his eyes. He screams out, my eyes are so hot. So I don't know if Luffy absorbed the attack directly, but he did take it on hands first because he stood right in front of it, right in front of that light beam. So with this crazy power Luffy has of his awakened devil now, I want to see what can really happen when it comes to this power happening now with a Logia type. Because a Logia fruit just hit him, and it is the light beam, the glint fruit. So, what is Luffy gonna do? How is he gonna reflect this back at Kizaru? But nonetheless, we see Vegapunk, Atlas, Sanji all getting away, and of course hops on Frankie because Frankie wants to go help as well because Frankie doesn't want to leave Bonnie in danger. And as they're going down, they're still going overdrive with it. All pacifista units come in is all we hear. This is the override command from Dr. Vegapunk. This is what Atlas is saying. Your new mission is to eradicate every last Marine on the island. So now we get a break inside of it. We're going to see, will this work? Will the override system work? What's going to happen of it? And of course, we still didn't get introduced into the new into the awakened robot from the ancient kingdom. So I can't wait to see what that happens. 2 weeks we get the next chapter out because One Piece is on break next week. But in 2 weeks we get the chapter to get revealed. Man, it's going to be something amazing. One Piece has not been letting down at all. If you go back and just look at everything, it's all leading up to the right stuff. So we have the Vegapunk systems are being overridden. We have Jay Garcia down there still. And he's talking about all the tides about to turn now. It's a lot of things going on. We're going to get probably the conclusion of Zoro versus Lucci. And of course, we have to see what happens with when Luffy basically absorbed the glint fruit beam right to the face and burned his eyes. So of course we know, and when he went against Kaido, he burnt the ash and then shook it off. but this glint glint fruit is a lot different than fire and a fire breathing fish dragon. Yeah, a Gyarados, then a fire breathing Gyarados. So I can't wait to see what happens. The chapters have been really good. As always, I love One Piece. The manga is going really strong. If you have not caught up to it, please catch up to it. I don't want to give too many spoilers out, but I do have a video that is out that I put out there that you might want to check out, and it's the video is all about the truth to the One Piece. I think I figured it out, y'all. I think I figured it out. Go watch that theory video. It's on the page live right now. I think I figured out what the truth behind the One Piece truly is and how it's gonna work and this item being this item. But let's see what happened if our lovely Straw Hat Pirates can get off the island now. This is gonna be interesting. We still have to get our ship to the backside of it and use that Cuda burst to get away. You're gonna fly a little bit, Cuda burst a little bit, and of course glide a little bit. So this has been 12 with a manga review section. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you guys want to get notified every single time we drop a video, hit that notification bell. And if you really rock on us the long way, the strong way, hit that sub button. Make sure you share with your friends. Friends might really like it. This is 12 coming strong with the manga video. Signing off.